welcome to vlog number 14. I'm here on the allotment. It's been a really busy week and I haven't got a lot of gardening done, but I still managed to sow some seeds. I've managed to sow my tomatoes, which is great. I'm excited about that, and I've managed to just do a few jobs on the allotment, just mainly tidying, potting on a couple of seedlings, watering, that's back on the agenda, and also I've done a little bit of foraging, so that's been lovely because the wild garlic's up now, so it's been really nice to get out there. I'm taking my young foragers group out there this week, so I just wanted to kind of do a little recce, see what's around at the moment, make sure I'm telling them all the right things, so that's really exciting. Another really exciting thing is that the lovely people at Rocket Grow sent me a load of compost, so I'm very excited about that. This is just a little selection of what they sent me. I can't wait to use it. So I've used a little bit of the seed and cutting compost already, and that is such a lovely consistency. It seems to be really well draining, it's excellent. I've also tried a little bit of this one, which is a fruit and veg compost, and that seems really good too. It's a very different consistency to this one, so I will show you that over the video, like how different they are. But yeah, really excited about that. And that's made me more excited for my tomato season, because the last couple of years I've tried really hard with the tomatoes and that hasn't really paid off. I think I've tried to grow too many different varieties, maybe not giving them the space, maybe not a good watering schedule. But this year I had these amazing grow bags that Rocket Grow sent me, so I'm going to be putting them to use, and hopefully that will just change my tomato growing look and I will grow amazing tomatoes this year. So we'll see. So yeah, it's lovely to sit down here. It definitely feels more like spring, even though it's grey and it's not too chilly, but it's damp. But if you see over here, we've got some lovely daffodils coming out to join the primroses now, and the chives are well on the way, there's salads to pick, so it feels really nice that spring's on the way. Even though the weather forecast is telling me that I'm not going to get a dry day until April, hopefully that's wrong. You know, it's damp, but it's not too terrible. It's gardenable, it's doable, and I can go in the polytunnel in the greenhouse and get stuff done. So yes, so that's what I'm going to do. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you again soon. Bye. So I'm out in the woods just in front of my house today. I'm really lucky that we have this amazing forest full of wild garlic. I'm bringing my little forest group out here next week, and I've promised them that we will make some wild garlic flatbreads and sauerkraut and things like that. So I thought I'd better come and have a practice, make sure my recipe's good. Children are the worst critics, and yeah, have a go. So it's amazing. I came out, it was horrible, it was starting to rain and it wasn't looking great, but the sun's come out and it's warm. I don't look like I'm warm, but it's warmer than it was. Yeah, and just beautiful to be out here, and it really feels like spring's coming. So I'm gonna collect some of this wild garlic and I'm gonna be cooking with it later. While I was picking the wild garlic, I spotted just by the base of a tree this little scarlet elf cup, which is a really lovely edible mushroom. I'm not going to eat this one because I think it's a little bit past its best, plus it's the only one here, so I wouldn't want to take that. But it's such a beautiful colour. When you're foraging for wild garlic, you're looking for these glossy, long leaves where you can see kind of the grain of the leaf running straight down. And if you rub it, it's going to smell of garlic. So that's the giveaway. I'm just taking a couple of leaves from each little clump rather than taking up big clumps all at once. It's just a more sustainable way of taking from. As you can see, there's plenty to pick, so no need to take lots from one area. I also found a couple of other interesting edibles while I was out. This is called candy flower. It's a type of Claytonia, which is a salad leaf. It doesn't really cook that well, but it's really nice raw. The leaves are really succulent. And you can get a couple of different varieties. This is a green variety, and I think this is probably the pink variety because it has a slight pink to the stems. You can see it grows in a kind of rosette. I also came across a couple of big patches of this common bistort, and this is another really nice edible at this time of year. The young shoots are the best. And these are not edible. These are going to be bluebells, but I'm going to be pointing them out to my young foragers because they do have long glossy leaves, but as you can see, they're quite different to the wild garlic. My children and their friends have been making this amazing den in the woods. So lucky to live here. Find was this little mushroom, this little fungi, which makes a really good firelighter. So these are King Alfred's cakes. You can look up the story of King Alfred's cakes, but basically it was to do with a king who was rubbish at cooking and burnt the cakes. And when you dry these out, they make really good firelighters. Something that's often overlooked but really nutritious and tender at this time of year are young dandelion leaves. I would be careful where you take them from. Make sure they're not in a path or at the edge of a footpath or anything like that where they might have been weed on. But here on the ground, a nice, strong, good plant. They'll be brilliant. So a couple of years ago, I was really lucky and I was sent this really great planter, which is on legs, which you can't see at the moment because we've had a wood delivery, so I can't get around the front of the bed. But that's why I'm behind the fence here. But it's on legs and it's kind of at waist height. It also has a cover, like a cloche cover, which I'll show you in a minute. So in this, I'm putting some of my lovely compost that Rocket Grey sent me, and I'm putting in some little seedlings, some coriander and also some pak choi, and I'm going to use them as herby salad leaves. So I'm putting them in now because although we're in March, with the cloche cover over the top, they should be absolutely fine as long as we don't get any crazy cold nights, which I don't think we're due. We might go down to maybe 2 or 3 degrees at night, but I've had things in here before, salad leaves at this time of year and even earlier, and they've done really well. So I'm willing to take the risk. So when you've got a pot like this with a lot of seedlings in, I find a really good way to separate them is just a short drop. Just kind of hold them just above the compost and drop them, and it just separates them nice and easily so that you're not pulling the roots apart so much. I've got a lot of these pak choi seeds, so I'm individually sowing some of them into these pots. so that I can grow them on to be actual pak choi plants that we'll harvest for stir fries and things like that. And the rest I'm putting into the pot, to the bigger bed for salad. And on goes the cloche lid, and this fits on really well, and it even has like a little trench in the top. I don't know if you can just see that there, and that self-waters. Perfect. Not that it needed to self-water, because as soon as I came in there was a great big thunderstorm. It absolutely poured down, we had hail, so yeah, definitely picked the right time to come indoors. Just listen to that hail on the roof. These flower seeds will be perfectly happy indoors for a while though. And within a few minutes we went from hailstorm to beautiful sunshine. Back on the allotment, things are starting to look a bit tidier. I've still got some mulching to do, I've still got small plants to take out and a few things to move, but there's little pockets of rhubarb coming up, the broad beans are looking pretty good. I've still left this netting over just in case we get any really horrible snow, but they'll probably be fine now. This is my honeyberry, which is getting some blossom. I don't know if you can see that there. That's doing okay. I don't know how many berries we'll get this year on this, but it's looking happy now I've moved it. The daffodils are going to be opening in this little clump soon. And the fruit bed here is looking pretty good. The black currants, they're starting to come into leaf. Nothing yet on the red currant. The gooseberry is also coming into leaf, and there's loads of strawberries that have just spread themselves around underneath. And this is a pink currant, which is looking really good this year. It was tiny, but it's looking much bigger this year. And there's buds on my apple tree too. In the polytunnel, we've got lots of seedlings now. The sweet peas are coming up, there's some salads, my leeks that I transplanted are looking great. And over here we've got the cabbages and the broccoli, which is looking okay. And up here, the peas are starting to come through. I have had a little dig around and there are more peas that have germinated, but they've just not made it to the surface yet. So hopefully by next week there'll be lots. And these are hopefully going to be making the whole place smell amazing in the next few weeks. And finally, my comfrey has arrived. And the comfrey means it's nearly time to plant the potatoes.
This American landcress is doing so well at the moment, and it's so peppery, it's amazing. It needs to go in every sandwich. While we're out and about this week, I had a quick trip to Wilko's. I was having a look if they had any really tall canes, which sadly they did not. But it'd be rude not to have a little look around, wouldn't it? So there was loads of gardening bits and bobs, and it was very tempting to buy lots of things. But I didn't buy too many things. I came away with a couple of flowers and a new watering can. These were the flowers. So I went with a dicentra, which my granny used to call bleeding hearts of Jesus. She was Irish and she was Catholic. That won't be a surprise then. And also some echinacea. I am growing some echinacea from seed as well, but I haven't been very successful in the past, so I'm hedging my bets and I'm trying some of these too. They seemed like a really good price, so I'm just going to pot those up at home. As you can see, using more of my Rocket Grow, this is the seed and cutting mix, which is really beautiful. It feels like such a lovely mix. Also, as you can see, I don't know if anybody else is like this, I am kind of squeezed in on the driveway next to the car. Yeah, I really need to work on a proper workspace to garden in at home. I'm really well set up at the allotment, but at home I just tend to squeeze myself into whichever corner is available. And this bit is under a balcony, so it stays a little bit drier, which is nice. I'm very happy to report that the lice problem we had with one of the chickens seems to be gone. And I just wanted to show you this really interesting little egg, which has an extra calcium deposit on it. We clean the girls out once a week. We just scoop out all the old bedding from the house and then replace it with new. And we put a bit of diatomaceous earth underneath the bedding just to keep everything smelling fresh and any bugs or anything, keep them down. The girls have been laying really well. We have 8 chickens and we're getting 5 or 6 eggs a day now, which is great. despite having the roof over the whole chicken run now, because we had a lot of snow, which all blew in because it was really windy at the same time, and that's now melted, it is still a little bit muddy in here at the moment. So once I clean out the chicken run here, I'll be putting some more bedding down just to keep it less muddy. But also once it dries out more, we will dig out quite a lot of this bedding and use it to mulch the back garden for the established plants there, and that will give the plants a really good boost. It'll use up quite a lot of the bedding, and we can replace that then with some more wood chip ready for the summer. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and to everybody who's subscribed, I'll see you again next time. Bye.